forgot to hit record. I forgot to record my audio in the previous thing. So let me show a few of my matches. I was using this 4.8 deck elixir spawner deck. It's actually pretty good if you'd ask me. So they put an Inferno Dragon in the back. I go for a Furnace. And I kind of wait for until that Inferno Dragon crosses so that I can counter it with my Flying Machine. So Flying Machine will take it out. And then Flying Machine is going to be killed by the Tesla. But he kind of misplayed his Tesla by a tile. Because I can put my Spear Goblin Hut in the other side. So kind of not the best Tesla placement. But they countered it pretty well. So this deck you just need to survive until double elixir, and then that's where the money is at. So I go for an elixir collector in the back. They go for Archer Queen and Knight and an Inferno Dragon. I can counter all that with a Barbarian Hut. I'm going to lose the tower here because this deck kind of you need to be patient and wait until double elixir. Slowly as you gain elixir, you can put a giant in the back, support it with some spawners, and then people get overconfident and then you can easily counter it then. So I'll poison that Skami. It's gonna pretty much die. He's going to Royal Ghost this thing. Royal Ghost dies. So I get like a few punches on the tower. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to go with the building. Go for a Barbarian Hut which is away from his rocket value. So he gets overconfident here and rockets only my tower, which is a big mistake. He thought he could counter me. So I go for an elixir collector knowing he does not have a rocket and a furnace in front of that. He's definitely not got rocket anymore. He has to cycle a lot. And now I'm putting the Goblin Hut away from all the buildings because I don't want to give him rocket value. Those towers those buildings are pretty much dead. So now again I'm stacking things up. So as they expire, he will rocket that, and I will go for the other one. So now this is where I overwhelm him, and the giant connects with all those spear goblins. He had to rocket that, so I put a goblin hut over there. I can put a furnace now if I have the elixir. Yeah, and I put the furnace. You can't handle that. There's just so much spam. That's the 3 crown. You win really hard at this deck. I'll show you the deck. It's right here, which is a 4.8. How do I really show it to you guys? It's a 4.8 elixir deck. I'll leave the deck in the description. So I'll actually show it to you guys over here. This is the deck: Giant, Poison, Flying Machine, Barbarian Hut, Elixir Collector, Goblin Hut, Goblin Gang, and Furnace. So what is the weakness to this deck? It's actually going to be a cycle deck, and Executioner is probably going to hurt you slightly. They kind of only won with the Hog Raider in this situation because they kept putting things, and I couldn't really, since it's a 4.8 elixir deck, I couldn't really build up a lot of spawners in this one. So it's okay, it's alright, right, if you don't build things up. No, not really for this deck, because the point of spawners is stacking a lot of them and overwhelming them. So I go for an elixir collector, but they have the rocket. So I have to defend now with the flying machine because the hog raider, they put the hog raider at the bridge. I can't just ignore a hog raider. The hog raider takes my tower out. So I go for a furnace in the back, knowing that their tornado's not yet there. I put a barbarian hut after the goblin hut. So I actually went for a giant. because I wanted to tank for those spawners. I didn't want the executioner taking everything out. So maybe going for a flying machine would be cool at this point. No, they went for a hog raider, so I need to defend that hog raider with my goblin gang. So this is the problem. They've been spamming the entire while putting hog raider as and when they can. So they cycle goblins, they put their valk, they put their executioner down. I go for an elixir pump, but the problem is they have the pocket access and they can just put a valk on top of that. They decide to push. They decide to come with a bigger push, so they're putting the valk in the back. Executioner is a very good counter to this. The valk takes my elixir collector out. He predicted my goblin gang. This at this point, I was probably going. It would be wise to go for the 3 crown by taking 1 tower on the right side and then going for the 3 crown. So I'm just trying to build as much as elixir collectors as possible, but he's just putting hog rider when he can. So that's kind of just taking my tower down. I'm trying to build so much spawners, so this is where I actually connect and I take the tower out. But you see, again they're gonna put hog rider in the other lane, and I have to defend, but I didn't have elixir, so I kind of missed. That's where I lost the match. So 10 seconds, you can't pretty much do anything. I can't 3 crown them from this point. So GG's, they won the match. I actually went 6 wins in this. So I lost 1 or 2 matches due to some poor replacements, but it's okay. 6, I don't really play a lot of tournaments, but this deck is pretty cool. And this was like probably the best match I had. I played with a Ram Raider balloon user. The thing is, nothing is gonna connect because you have the goblin hut. You have like 4 buildings, so there's definitely the win conditions won't even get through. I go for a Ram Raider. I put my goblin gang. So a lot of goblins, they misplayed their Tesla over there. They put it one tail to the right, so it's going to only take care of things in the other lane. Flying machine to kind of take the mechanite to quarter health, just above a quarter. So I just defend this with a barbarian hut. Just don't die in this situation, and then you're going to probably survive. That's it. He got rage in already a raged arena. It's kind of, I understand because he has freeze and rage, so I kind of do understand that. So he goes for a balloon. I go for a spear goblin hut. It kind of spawns a lot of goblins, so it's better than the furnace for that situation. I go for an elixir collector in the back. Man, only if I had recorded this. I actually recorded this, but I forgot to switch my mic on. So here I'm showing the replay. It's a bit weird, but I'm going for the biggest push ever, going for everything in the back. Since it does not have any big spell, that's the biggest mistake I could do. If playing a mini P.E.K.K.A is going to rage the mini P.E.K.K.A, it's not going to work out because he has no spell to take anything out. So I realized that he doesn't have any big spell. I'm going for everything in the back. Barbarian had 7 for 7 to counter the Mega Knight. And few barbarians will be left. So it's kind of a positive elixir trade over there. I go for an elixir collector in the other side just in case, to not really give them too much value, even though probably if we didn't have the 8th card I would have maybe if it had been rocket, if I'd put it in the same side I would have just given them value. So they freeze here, but it doesn't help them. See, freeze does not do much damage, it just freezes things for 4 seconds. See, here I am with the elixir collector. I'm not reading the Lam Raider connect. Just defend. A lot of swarm troops are down there. He can only freeze everything. So Yikes. And he put the Tesla in the wrong place. I actually missed my poison there, but it's not a big thing at all. So Goblin and the flying machine takes it out. This was not the best game actually. I had more crazier games than this. So see, the amount of things are in the map is just insane. I could have gone for the 3 crown, but I just decided to not go for it. The weakness of his deck, I just wanted to show that video which I mean the replay which I lost because if they have Executioner and Hog Rider, chip damage and spawner countering spawners, then you don't have much chances. So going in with somebody who has Elixir Golem, they also have this deck spawner kind of deck. So I play Furnace. I didn't really know that they had Elixir Collector, so I poisoned a bit early. But the poison kind of hit the Furnace, so I'm at a higher position, I guess. Furnace counters Furnace, it's whatever. So since they used the Fireball, I'm going with the Barbarian Head close to that. And the Goblin Head before in front of the tower, since they still don't have anything other than Fireball. So I can poison the Elixir Collector and the Furnace now, that's value. So even if they use the Skeleton King's ability over here, it's not going to work out because there's just too many buildings and skeletons are going to die to the Furnace. So what I try to do is I actually try to build a lot of furnaces because they take the skeletons out faster. So that's what I'm going to cycle to, a furnace. So see, my opponent is pretty angry. So since they put an elixir golem, I put a barbarian hut. Kind of I need to counter that, so that is why I did that. Kiting the elixir golem into the other lane, I just need that +4 elixir to build up a massive push. They go for a skeleton king, no problem. I go for all those things. So even if they waste 2 elixir in activating the ability, the skeletons are going to die. They activated it. The furnace counters that. Like only one barbarian gets one swing. And that's pretty much it. 2 swings, nothing else. This is where you kind of build things in the back. I see he's not using fireball. He did a mistake of using the elixir golem like that. He's fireballing on the elixir collector. I kind of wanted to bait that out. I go for a giant and poison. He's gonna go for another barbarian hunt, but sadly he put it into the poison which I casted. So this is where definitely they're gonna get overwhelmed because you can obviously not. You cannot see they put their elixir golem again. So that's GG's. Just amazing victories. This was the craziest match. I was about to lose actually in this match, but it was actually a very great comeback. Sparky, I made a mistake. Sparky Goblin Giant. I misplayed my furnace by one tail and went to the left side. So I put my Goblin Hut. See, Sparky, I bait the Sparky out with my Goblin Hut and then kill it with my Goblin Gang. It's all fine over here. I don't really lose here. And I'm slowly getting chip damage on the other side. See, I go for an elixir collector in the back. What I should have done is I should have actually saved my flying machine for the Sparky. I didn't do that, so I did lose my tower over here. So I knew that I lost the tower, so I put my thing in the left side. Wanted chip damage on the other side. Now I finally realized that I needed my flying machine, and all I needed to do was prevent the 3 crown over here, and I would be good, and I would actually win. I would have a flying machine for the Sparky the next time. So just put things in the back because they didn't again have any big spell over here. Zap and Zap is not going to kill my elixir collector. So I poison the Sparky, flying machine. You can't. That Sparky is dead. They needed to goblin giant the other side, but they didn't quite do that. They went E-Barbs the other side. I can just Goblin Gang and pull it in the other side. And the E-Barbs all are going to die to a Barbarian hut. See, and I just got to... I can sacrifice huts here. You go for the Goblin Giant. I just pull it to the other side. And GG's. You can't stop that. It's GG's. My mistake was to not counter the Sparky with the flying machine. Is this the one which I had the craziest match against? I'm not sure. I should actually see. I take their tower out. I let them take the other side. Then log bait is just not so good because you can literally. Okay, this was the game. I built up so many things. I put so many things down. You literally can't defend all those things. Like it was. It was overwhelming. Let's go with the same replay again in 1 time speed. Probably 2 times. So they put a princess. I counter a goblin gang. They have the log. I go with the furnace. They counter with the knight. They actually took my barbarian hut with the goblin hut. It was a pretty good positive elixir trade for them. But this deck comes back later. So they wasted their rocket over there. So I can put my furnace and goblin hut close to each other now. I kind of let them have their the tower first because then only you kind of have more space to put things down. Go for an elixir collector after the rocket. That's the game plan. Yeah, so just put things down. Goblin gang in the back. Cool. It's all cool. We put the furnace, so they should actually rocket. They'll actually rocket my elixir pump, which is not worth it because they already are going to take that tower. They rocketed nothing actually, so I've got that going for me. So they don't have rocket for, and they are rocketing. They missed their rocket actually over there. So I put my furnace down, I put my goblin gang down, put the goblin hut down, put the barbarian hut down, put everything down. They just can't, they should defend all those spawners so they can't use rocket that much. They're using the rockets on the elixir collectors, which are like the least threatening in this match at least. That's how we won. This is the deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.